So I went to a box tournament 5 hours away, and instead of taking my Ice Barrier Runic list, or even my Paleozoic list, I ended up taking something new and far more degenerate, which I think, if not hit, will become a problem in the current meta. That deck is Gimmick Puppets. I went 5-0, winning an entire box tournament with Gimmick Puppets. My round 1 was Manadium. My round 2 was Ubel Fiendsmith. Round 3, Blue Underease. Round 4, Snake Eyes Fiendsmith. And round 5, Snake Eyes Fiendsmith. This deck does incredibly well as long as you get the field spell. The field spell carries you incredibly hard. So let's get into the list. We have 3 Rogue Doll. Pretty standard. This is the Gimmick Puppet package. I say package because you'll see shortly it feels like a fraction of the deck. 3 little soldiers, right? These are starters. I am running 2 Terror Baby because you like to send 1 to the graveyard and you like to have another for the FTK. 1 Cattle Scream. I could be convinced to put this at 2, but 1 is fine because if you draw it, you can still use the effect. Having 2 is just better. Using the effect in the graveyard is just 1 Bisque Doll because this makes your stuff untargetable and isn't as good as Terror Baby. And 1 Drury Doll. I just like the Platinum Secret. I think it's also a good extender that you can send. If you say you open Cattle Scream, you can summon this instead of Cattle Scream, do some stuff with this on the field and then in the graveyard. Now, the card that makes this deck actually incredible. Mansion. Mansion pretty much says hand traps. Your opponent can attempt them, but none of them work. It's the worst feeling in Yu-Gi-Oh! When you go Effect Veiler, getting an effect, and they go, okay. Anyway, continuing, it resolves. It is unaffected. Not like Magispectors, which can't be targeted, so you can't even attempt to. This lets you, it just doesn't succeed. You then have 3 Condolence Puppet, an incredible card. This lets you, no matter what, send at least 1 Gimmick Puppet to the graveyard, which means if they don't ash this, you can send Terror Baby or Bisque Doll. Whichever card you're afraid of the most, if you're afraid of ash, you send Terror Baby so they can't respond. If you're afraid of Veiler, Imperm, or Mourner, you send Bisque Doll. Bisque Doll statistically is the best send off of this. Because so many people are running those 3 hand traps. 2 rank up because if you draw 1, I don't think you can perform the FTK, or it's a lot harder to. So you just run 2. It's kind of the same thing with Vision Hero. Increase, you always run 2. 1 Service Puppet play because it's just a free search. Kind of sucks to draw, I guess. It is a brick, but it's good if you can't get the FTK. It's deceptively good. And now, that is the Gimmick Puppet package. The rest is all hand trap and staple package, pretty much. Forgive me, I don't have the 3rd Alt Art Secret, but 3 Droll. Droll is just too significantly good to not run. It doesn't always matter in the matchup, but it's too good. 3 Ash, it's a staple. Ironically enough, it doesn't matter when you're playing against Branded because they give you a puppet, and so you don't even bother ashing a Branded player. 2 Nib, because it's Nib. Again, more hand traps. Mourner, because Mourner is super good. You could sub out the Nibs for Veilers or any of the other hand traps for Veilers. I just couldn't find mine. That's fine. 2 Crossout. You want to run this maybe at 3. I just don't have a 3rd. But you run so many hand traps that Crossout's way too good. The 1 Called By for any of their hand traps. The only one that really hits you is Droll. Droll hurts, but you can play through it. 3 tactics. In case you get hand trapped and you have cross out, you can just make sure they can't interrupt you at all or dig deeper. I could be convinced to take these out and swap them with something else. I wouldn't say more hand traps, but I would say maybe more consistency. You'll notice I didn't have scissor arms. These 3 could be replaced with 3 scissor arms. I think that is acceptable. I just sold them when they were like going for $25, and I didn't need it. You don't need it for the FTK, so. 3 Imperm. Again, super good hand traps. I think I play like 15 to 18 hand traps in this build. Insane. All right, extra deck. 3 Chimera Doll. You could probably run 2. 2, I would say for sure. Everything you need, I would say run at 3 in case there's some card that lets your opponent rip something from your extra deck, just to be safe. But yeah, 3 of this, it's super good. It just gives you an extra special. 2 strings. This, I'll talk about what I think will get hit, but this enables like part of the FTK. Insanely good card. Specials, adds a rank up, gives you an additional normal, can special from grave and add the rank up back. Insane card. Also super good, has so many effects. On summon, add the trap. You can also detach, special summon, I think what is it? Special summon 1 monster from either grave to your opponent's field in defense position. Give your opponent another monster, pop it. Crazy. And then when your opponent summons a monster, this can target it, destroy it, inflict half. Again, nuts. Insane. The actual FTK enabler, question mark, Dark Strings. Destroy stuff with Gimmick, Puppet, String Counters, and draw 1. Not once per turn. Yes, not once per turn, and then you can detach, give your opponent's monster a string counter. That never comes up. FTK enabler. This whole deck is Giant Grinder. Forgive me, it's a rare. But yeah, Giant Grinder. You want to run this at 2, again, just so if they try to take something out, it doesn't matter. But Giant Grinder is crazy. Destroy something. If it's an XZ, burn for the original attack. So you're burning for 3k each time. Giant Hunter. I don't know why I have this in here. But this also burns for the original attack. This is a once per turn though. But yeah, it just more burn. Disaster Leo. This is how you could play through Droll. You need the other piece though that I don't have. But I think you can still, even through Droll, you should be able to do about 6,000 damage. So you go into this, end your turn, your opponent's life points are below 2k, and you win the duel. And one of this, in case off of Rogue Doll, you want to summon level 4. This could be cut, but I like the flexibility of this. All right, now we go to the side deck. Okay, nothing crazy. Because you run so many hand traps, you don't actually need that crazy of a side deck. I actually hardly ever used it unless it was a matchup I didn't like or didn't know very well. Let's get into it. 3 droplet, because this is the combo. I run the 3 droplet, into the 3 evenly. If I don't feel confident my hand traps are effective, or I don't know where to hand trap against a deck, I side in 3 droplet, 3 evenly. I let them play. Maybe I keep like heavy hitters like Droll and Nib, or I take them out and put in more of this stuff where I just let them go. I then try to draw into droplet evenly because it's just so good against the current meta with Gimmick Puppets. With that 6 card, if you can draw your field spell, droplet evenly, you just win. There's not many boards that can stop that in this current meta that go first. 1 bell. This should be a 3rd spooky. I just didn't have it at the time. 2 Lightning Storm, a Duster. Again, more going second stuff that you can take out for, like, you know, swap around the hand traps, put in this stuff against certain matchups. We don't like Anti-Spell or other stun cards. So 3 Cosmic feels like a must in this meta. Cosmic. And then, as I said before, 2 Spooky. Spooky's too good. I don't think it should be banned, but I think it's too good. So yeah, you just need to play it. You should be at 3. I just didn't have. I literally have the 3rd, but I only played with 2, so you know, I'm just gonna keep it at 2. I did side this in, and it literally saved me against in game 3 when we went into time against the Ubel player. They went, you know, summon, and then the moment they committed to their Sharvara in hand, I chained Spooky, and that was it. Because the only way they could do effect damage was the Fiendsmith stuff, and then to do that, they had to commit to the Fiendsmith. But yeah, always just play Spooky. Like, games go way too long in this current meta. No shame in playing Spooky. How else are you gonna win going second game 3 into time? But yeah, that is the deck list. Again, I went 5-0 winning the box tournament. I hope you guys enjoy. I am going to be doing more actual coverage of the events, so look forward to that. This will probably be the last video like this, where there's a profile and no event coverage, like at the event. I really want to do that, do more vlogs, work on some editing styles. So look forward to that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope to see you guys soon, and there might be a combo video at the end of this, so stick around. All right, so a little scuffed, but this is the combo, okay? Super easy, very linear, and there's multiple ways to get to the FTK, but this is the super linear one that only requires the field spell, right? No other discards, 1 card. This can be the field spell, this can be terraforming, this can be set rotation, right? If you're playing that kind of super reliant build. I've noticed that one can be bricky. Anyway, Mansion effect. Add little soldiers. Normal summon little soldiers. Little soldiers cost. Then Rogue Doll effect, it'll become a level 8 Rogue Doll effect to add to hand. Rogue Doll effect to special summon itself and Cattle Scream. Overlay to Machinax. Machinax, make sure to detach Cattle Scream. This gets you your rank up and an additional normal. Detaching Cattle Scream is very important. We then go rank up onto Machinax, going into this one. Chainlink 1 Machinax, Chainlink 2 Chaos Force to add back because we Exi summoned once per duel. Add the trap. This doesn't do as much, but we add the trap. And then we add this back to hand. Okay? Now, Battle Scream, specifically detaching the original Machinax to summon. This is a level 8 because of its own effect. So, overlay into Gimmick Puppet of Strings. Then Strings effect, detach, give this a string counter. Then rank up this Gimmick Puppet of Strings into Dark Strings. Chainlink 1, Dark Strings to pop and draw 1. Chainlink 2, Machinax to summon and add back your rank up. Okay? This will summon, this will pop, this will add. And then you burn your opponent for 31, right? And we get this back. Now, we link 2 into the link. Then use its effect because it is the Gimmick Puppet and it's a link summon card. Add Terror Baby. We don't choose to special. If you have more extenders, you can special, and that helps out a lot, especially for enabling easier FTKs. But in this case, we don't choose to special, and we have Machinax's extra normal. So, normal summon Terror Baby. Terror Baby effect. We will summon Rogue Doll back from the graveyard. We will then Little Soldier's effect, making this a level 8. Very important because then going to summon Giant Grinder. Okay, now Mansion effect, detaching Terror Baby. Target Dark Strings to special summon to your opponent's field. It gives them this monster. We then Giant Grinder, target, and pop. So we've dealt 31 and 33, which means we've dealt 64 damage total. They are left at 1,600 life points. Now, easily just rank up one more time onto the Giant Grinder Golem. Into Machinex, Machinex, and the crazy card. One of the crazy effects is you can detach target Dark Strings to special summon to your opponent's side of the field. So we special this back, and on a new chain, you use this other effect because a monster was summoned to your opponent's field. Target this monster, pop it, burn for half, which half of 1330 is 1650. So they lose. They lose by 50 points. That is the FTK off of Mansion. So yeah, I hope with this demonstration, I'm going to definitely get it set up so that you can see the entire thing and it doesn't look so scuffed. But for now, that's what it is. Look forward to more actual tournament gameplay from going to the events. You guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Thank you. See ya.